If you do the things that other people can do, then you won't have time to do those things. If you get stuck in operations in your business, then you can't work on marketing and sales. The most important part of your business is marketing and sales. It's better for you to actually pay someone to clean the house and you go get a new client and market and sell. He said, learn one thing and apply that one thing that everything you go to. Don't try to overwhelm yourself. Don't try to overdo it. So when you come onto these programs and these calls and other conferences and programs, how many realize that there is so much content and information? It's like, how do you process all of that in one time? Anyone ever feel that way? I get it. I get it. So what I'm trying to tell you today is don't try and do all of that. Bethany, just take one thing today. Okay? Just one thing. Just take one thing and take that. Your micro learning will lead you to a greater growth level than you will try to think you're going to do everything. Every investment has a downside. There's no such thing that has an absolute 100%. There's no way you can lose money risk. There's just no way. I know some people tell you, no, there's no way. You can do a stop and hold and you can release and all. I don't care. You're going to lose. There's always a way to lose money because it just is. So what I would tell you is this, is that if you can go ahead and make sure that your assets are preserved and you can mitigate the potential loss and the risk inside of it, and it's not more than 10% of your equity and it's not going to put you behind, then yeah, it's a good investment. If you're looking for a greater ROI than 10 to 15%, your brain can't manage it. Your brain can only manage 10% fluctuations between gains and losses. If you're giving everything to your children, you're setting them up for a world of simplicity. You're making them desperate. You're going to make them think that they're entitled, that everything is deserved to them. They get everything inside that. Letting people earn their right. Never rob accountability, dignity, and responsibility from an individual, even your children. Even your children. So if you're trying to teach your children about money, then I would set in my home, we do this, is set them their list of things that they're responsible for and pay them for what they do in and around the house. A mini allowance, but don't just give them money. If they don't do it, then they don't get that money. But one person in the relationship is going to be a spender. The other one's going to be a saver. One's going to be a producer. The other one's going to be a collector. And what's going to happen is you're going to attract the opposite that you're married to. So it's easy to sit and say we're all going to get on the same page financially, but completely different in reality. The number one cause of divorce in this country is not a lack of sex. It's not affairs. It's not extramarital activities. It is simply money. Imbalances of prioritization of money between two people. It's wise to give each person their own money, and it's wise for each person to have their own revenue and have their own money to manage and grow. When they have their own money to manage and grow, then they're now accountable for their portions of their life. If you're both sharing money, that is a recipe for disaster. Put everyone in context. I'm not making a statement about religion. I'm not making a statement about anyone's faith or any of that nature. But what I'm saying is that when we actually understand the terms of the statement of it's better to give than it is to receive, that means that sometimes you have to also look at it and say, as long as I'm giving, then the other person's receiving, then they're the sinner. But when I am the giver and they're also paying me, they're also giving me. Both people get to become the giver and both people get to be the receiver, because you're not a giver without a receiver. You're not a receiver without a giver. What you are is human and have both sides of you at all point in time in your life. It's about finally learning who you are, what you value, what your beliefs are, and then honoring yourself. Because when you honor yourself, you honor the wisdom, the faith, the God, the spirit, the inner self of all of you. Only then can you express from a grander perspective. If you separate yourself from your divine self, you are no longer in the state of spiritual flow. You are separated from that. And when you integrate and you see yourself all as one, you're allowed to express all of you, and you don't have guilt and shame and pride running your life. You have true essence and being controlling your life. And you get to express all of you. In your business, you want to focus your business on the things that matter the most, the things that matter the least. If you do the things that other people can do, then you won't have time to do those things. If you get stuck in operations in your business, then you can't work on marketing and sales. The most important part of your business is marketing and sales. It's better for you to actually pay someone to clean the house and you go get a new client and market and sell. So you've got to make sure that you're not spending your time and energy doing things of lower value and focusing on things of higher value for your business.